It's John. Today I want to share with you which is your command. This is an audio series that was introduced to me a couple years ago by my own brother. Now, previously it was pretty easy to find. I want to share with you how you can get this audio series completely for free. It's very easy, just follow through on the set of directions. Underneath all my videos, you'll find a description box. From here, you just want to tap on that first link in the descriptions. From there, you will see a sales page. If you don't want to read through the sales page, that's perfectly fine. There are a couple of buy now buttons on here. What you want to do, you want to tap on any of these buy now buttons, which will take you to a checkout form. From here, you want to type in the coupon code YWIYC. This is what you need right here if you want to get this program completely for free. You want to hit apply. Once you hit apply, you can see the discount code's been applied, saving yourself $500. You want to scroll back on top, fill out the contact, billing, and payment information. It's not going to charge you anything. They just want to find people who are actually serious about this program. After you tap complete my order, you want to check your email in a few minutes. If it's not in your inbox, you want to go to your spam folder, and if it's in your spam folder, drag it back into your inbox. You can tap on that email and tap on that link in the email. It'll take you directly to the 14 audio series, Your Wish is Your Command, How to Manifest Your Desires. Now, this is a program that people actually went to the mountains of Swiss Alps. They paid $10,000 for to get this information. Now you can get it for free. I don't know how long this offer is going to be up there, so take advantage of it when you can. Download it, get it on your computer, on your MP3 player, so you can stream it anytime when you're in your car, folding your laundry. Listen to the CD set. Now I'm going to go through what I learned from this CD audio series, Your Wish is Your Command, one by one, and how I actually apply this in my own personal life to achieve the health results. Now, just real quick, over here, I'm going to give you an outline of this program, of what I'll be discussing today. Give you guys a brief introduction. Then we're going to talk about the specific lessons in this audio series. The first lesson is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? The second lesson is the Teachability Index. The third lesson is the Training Balance Scale. And the last lesson is the 4 steps to mastery, or the 4 steps to learning. Now, when we go through these one by one, this very quick introduction, my name is John. And years ago, I struggled with a lot of weight loss rebounds, basically doing my best, trying to get my 6-pack abs. Well, it was losing a couple of pounds and gaining it all back and then some. That's what weight loss rebounds all about. Now, I look like this pretty much all year around, 6-pack abs. And I have consistently been doing detox protocols, and I will take you on that journey because what I was doing before wasn't working. I want to take you through these different lessons and how you can achieve the results that you've been looking for. Now, in the world of YouTube and different manifestation channels, they always want you to make you feel good. They always tell you that it's all about doing more meditation, doing more visualization, get another astrological chart, buy more crystals. If the crystals that you have there are not working, you want to buy more, buy harder. I'm going to be discussing some things on this call that's going to be uncomfortable. Now, if you want to achieve the results that you want, the very first lesson is, who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? Now, the person I learned this from, his name's Kevin Trudeau. And these lessons, as he said, they take about 5 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. And many people, they overlook these lessons because they sound so simple. Who do you listen to? According to Kevin, he says, listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Okay, pay attention to this. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. There's 2 parts to this. Now, before, I wanted to get 6-pack abs. And who did I listen to? I listened to all the wrong people. You've been trained to listen to all the wrong people throughout your entire life. I want to help you guys to help you begin on the process of, hey, I need to be listening to the right people. This is the time I was living in Southern California in San Diego. I wanted to lose weight, but I was weight loss rebounding the whole time. And then people were telling me, hey, if you want to get the results, you got to get yourself a personal trainer. So I went down to the personal training place, which is the 24-hour fitness. In downtown, there was a place called Horton Plaza. Inside that plaza, it's 24-hour fitness. The thing I went into the gym, you know, these trainers be pulling up, telling you, hey, I can become a personal trainer, X, Y, and Z. Well, a lot of these trainers, I don't know what it was about that 24-hour fitness. They were even more out of shape than I was. And we've been trained to listen to the wrong people all our life because people have said, hey, you have to give them respect because they're the ones with the certificates. They went to school for this. They got training for this. That's why you listen to them. But according to Kevin, according to this training material, you got to be more specific about who you're listening to. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. So different trainers, maybe they experienced weight loss rebound in the past, and now they're achieving six-pack abs and they keep it all year round. That's where I want to be. You have to be very clear and specific about what type of results you're looking for. Are you just looking for short-term results? Well, maybe you go to one of these trainers that have short-term results. They get a couple of months when they have a really good physique, and then they roll right back into their dad bod. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But most people, that's what they struggle so hard in life because they're listening to all the wrong people. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Another problem that I also struggle with quite often, it was nasal congestion. I had a lot of problems with joint discomfort. I also had restless feet syndrome. This is in my late 20s. I was experiencing restless feet syndrome. Maybe you don't know what that's all about. Basically, your feet are possessed and they move on their own. You're not getting any restful sleep. You're never getting any deep sleep because your feet, they're moving on their own. So you won't go to the doctors, you go to your pharmacist, they just throw meds at you all day. Oh, you're dealing with nasal congestion, here's some Claritin. Just take them. If they stop working, go back to your doctor. Maybe they'll have to give you some prescription strengths, antihistamines, and you kind of go from there. I would get a few hours of relief from taking antihistamines, but I never got to the root of my problem. They would just come back, and I would get side effects from taking Claritin day in and day out. I started to notice liver discomfort. I never had any liver discomfort before. And can you see the challenge, or can you relate to the same challenge that I have? Maybe you don't have my set of problems, but you're challenged with another set of health problems, and you go to your doctor, and it's just go to the same thing, or they prescribe you different meds, or you're going to different specialists, and now you're just one thing on top of the next, and things just get progressively worse. Who do you listen to? According to the CD set, audio series is listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Many of your doctors, are they worth listening to? If you're going to your family care, okay, they're always critiquing your lab results. Maybe you got some lab work done. They come back and says these values are out of range, within range. These values are out of range, within range. Isn't it time for you to go to your family doctor and say, hey, listen, doc, instead of you always checking up on me, why don't you have you get on that scale? I'm going to measure your weight, and we're going to measure your height. And from these two numbers, we're going to get your body mass index. Listen, y'all, if you have a family doctor, got a BMI over 30, maybe it's time for you to get yourself a different family doctor. Do you know what I'm saying? These doctors, they have a whole bunch of health problems they can't even resolve themselves. They cannot even resolve themselves. And you expect them to take you to the promised land? Another example that I had a couple of months ago, I took my own family member to the ER. At the ER, did the same thing over there. So my family member, I was just pushing him on the wheelchair, getting these different reports done. Got to get your blood work done. Where do you got to go next? Got to do the ECG or EKG, electrocardiogram. Next, you're going to be going to the x-ray, get your x-ray done, see if you have any bone damage, whatever. So you do all that, come back once again, the doctor very, very unimpressive, you know, because this guy not even in shape himself, but he's going to tell you how, you know, your lab results are not very good, or your ECG is not very good. Maybe you should stay over at the hospital. In an emergency situation, yes, we do need our doctors that can put us back together in a very, very short period of time. Now, none of this professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always see the advice of your physician, qualified health providers, any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. I had to get that out of the way. Listen, when you go to the ER, go to the ICU, and many of you should do a little bit of a field trip, okay? You should go to multiple ERs and ICUs just to look around, see what's going on. People are in the ICU not because they got into a motorcycle accident, got into a car accident. No. Many people there are there due to multiple organ failures. And doctors, many of them, they're on the same path as well. They're dealing with liver problems. They're dealing with kidney problems. Okay? And that is just the sad state of the medical industrial complex. We have all these different problems and can't even fix. We're going to the wrong people, y'all. And you need to listen to a new set of people on your path to vibrant health going forward. Now, for me, that's what I had to do, because whatever I was doing was not working. I had all these joint pains that got progressively worse. I was waking up in the morning. I had all this tension in my muscles for no reason at all. And it was through years of hard work, years of learning about my physical health, listening to the right people. Now, I've been on this journey for over a decade. I've been listening to a lot of different people. For example, back in 2013, 2014, I even met Charlotte Gerson in person. She's the daughter of Max Gerson, the creator of the Gerson therapy. Now, Charlotte, she had a clinic in Tijuana, Mexico. She was going back and forth between the border, help out people down there. And I was interested in, this lady, she was already in her 90s. She was still doing all these different things. She was definitely in her late 80s when I met her, definitely. And she was still driving her car, doing her thing. And I'm like, she's just consistently healthy all those years. Listen, most people, they're not driving their cars at her age, all right? And she was mentally clear. She had purpose in her life. And I'm just like, what is she doing that we don't know about? And now she's getting all these great results. Well, I went down on that path. I started to listen to holistic doctors, naturopathic doctors, and try to learn what were they doing that gave them those type of results for many, many years. And there isn't this whole bunch of roller coaster ups and downs in their career. Now, there are a lot of people in the medical industrial complex. I'm just like, listen, do they really have their health in order? They know all this stuff. They went to medical school. But I see them, they get sick too. They're always unwell. And doctors, they are not healthy. They're overworked. They're always doing overtime. And you going in there, you're just another number in the machine. Okay, they're just looking at your lab reports. The next thing they do is either more medications, or they're going to send you down to more specialists, or you're going to be sent down to specialized tests that are not covered by your insurance. It just gets progressively worse. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. And I went down on this path. I'm still on the path. I'm very, very grateful. It's been many years now. All that discomfort, first of all, I no longer have weight loss rebound. Whatever joint problem that I had, they went away. Okay, I started to learn from a whole bunch of different things. And the next thing I'm going to talk about in these lessons is the Teachability Index. That's the next lesson in Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command, which is the Teachability Index. Now, many people, they may jump on this call for whatever reason, and many of them, they will drop as soon as I talk about the Teachability Index, because it is in your face. The reason why you're not getting the life that you want or manifest the things that you want, you are missing this key. The Teachability Index or the Coachability Index has two main factors. Number one is, what is your willingness to learn? What is your willingness to learn? Okay, you can quantify these things. When it comes to the law of manifestation, you always got to come back to these basics. Once again, it takes about 5 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. Teachability index, another way, is how coachable are you? How coachable are you? The first part is, what is your willingness to learn? What is your willingness to learn? And you got to give yourself a score from 0 to 10. Okay? The next part is, what is your willingness to accept change? Also giving yourself a score from 0 to 10. And you have to multiply these numbers together to get your teachability index. I'm going to help you define and help you understand and quantify what is your willingness to learn. How do you know if you have willingness to learn? You have to learn by setting down your favorite activity, and you're replacing that favorite activity with audio, with books, with online courses, with conferences that you attend in person. So let's just say, for example, what is your favorite activity right now? For most people, their favorite activity is going back home. They're turning on TV. It's Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Videos, catching their favorite TV shows. It could be sports, watching sports online, playing video games, or they are drinking with their friends at the bar, going to the clubs at the weekends. That's their favorite activity. Now, how do you know your willingness to learn? You are very objective. You said, you know what? I'm going to come back home. I'm going to cancel my Netflix, my Hulu, Amazon Prime videos. I'm going to start listening to some audios. I'm going to take some online courses, maybe some Udemy's. Maybe you go into different courses online. You are looking on your schedule. There might be some conferences in person you can attend, or you're reading books. So you're setting aside your favorite activity and you're replacing that with activities that can really better your life. Me personally, I had to do that because over here, this picture on the left, I was going nowhere fast, okay? Over here, this is a conference that I attended in Southern California. It was about internet marketing. I was there. I was not feeling well at all that evening. And over here, this is also in San Diego. I was putting on jeans that one evening. I was like, what is going on? These jeans are so tight on me. Is it because I left them in the dryer too long? And this shirt that I was putting on, I was like, man, I don't know what is it about my shirt. Why is it so tight? Well, I was gaining weight. I was weight loss rebounding. I had no answers to. I was listening to all the wrong people. And over here, the teachability index, I had to be increasing my willingness to learn. I gotta say, you know what? I'm gonna start listening to naturopathic remedies, doctors, holistic doctors. I'm gonna crack open some books on herbal remedies. Willingness to learn. I was very, very intense about doing that. I was watching so many YouTube videos, one after the next, one after the next, one after the next, taking notes. Because I was like, my health, the trajectory of my health is going horrible right now. Nobody is fixing it. Nobody that I went to see, these doctors, they're not doing anything for me. It's just more medications, okay, more specialists coming on. So willingness to learn, you have to give yourself a score. There are 30 days in a month. How many of those days are you actually spending time taking aside your favorite activity, turning off that Netflix, stop watching sports, putting down that PlayStation, stop going out to the clubs, and you're just going on YouTube learning, where you're listening to audio books on a specific topic you're really trying to unlock. Reading books. If you only do 10 days out of 30, that's 33%. You can give yourself a score of 3 out of 10 with your willingness to learn. You have to quantify this. Your teachability index, your coachability, don't say you're coachable when you're only 3 out of 10 with your willingness to learn. The next part is even more harsh, and that's what most people, they drop out of these calls because this is in your face. This is not feeling good. What is your willingness to accept change? Now that you learn information about detox, now you learn information about how to better your health, Are you actually applying your detox protocols? For example, you're not going to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right without doing detox protocols. And that's the path that I had to take very, very consistently since 2019. Okay. That's something called the Mega Poop Transformation Challenge, losing 3 to 5 pounds per month without going to the gym. I had to go through a whole bunch of information. I had to go through entire volumes of books on human physiology, really studying out the digestive system, really studying out what is this pipework all about? How can I clean this pipework comprehensively? Because what I realized is that I have a lot of digestive issues. If I'm not going to the bathroom every single day, all just consistently, I'm chronically constipated. If I'm chronically constipated, that means there's all this fecal material stuck in my colon. And all that waste material is just putrefying inside of me. And you wonder why people that were complaining that I had bad breath, I had really bad body odor, because all this waste material sitting inside of you, they've been accumulating for a long time, and now they're exuding through the surface of your skin, or they're oozing through the surface of your skin. In addition to all these health problems, pain and discomfort you're experiencing right now, because it's old poop that is accumulating inside of you. You guys understand? So you can learn all this information all you want. Some of you, they're thinking about, oh, I just got to do Tony Horn. I got to do P90X. I got to do some exercise. That's all great too. So they got the P90X program, got Tybo. They're on QVC. They got all this information regarding physical health that they can do and tackle, or they got the Peloton. So on the surface, it seems like, oh, this guy's very coachable, very teachable. They got all this information. Downloads folders full of PDFs on natural health. But are they willing to actually do the exercise with Tony Horn? Most people, they aren't like that. Most people, they may have a library full of books. They got the DVD sets all lined up, on their covers. But you look at the dudes, they're never doing the exercises, or they're watching Tony Horn on DVD set, and they're out there eating potato chips. See, most people, they drop out of these calls right about this area. Because this is just in your face, right? So willingness to learn, they might be a 10 out of 10 with their willingness to learn. They're going to the conferences. They're buying the books. They got the DVD sets. Their downloads folders full of PDFs on natural health remedies. But are they actually putting it into action? That is the willingness to accept change. What is your willingness to accept change? Are you doing the exercises? Are you doing the detox protocols on a consistent basis? Me, since 2019, I haven't missed a week. Today, just today, I completed liver cleanse, or liver gallbladder flush, more specifically. Did you know that there's something called a gallbladder? Most people don't even know what a gallbladder is until they got a gallbladder attack. Then they go to the hospital, and the doctors have to remove the whole gallbladder. Did you know there are very, very safe and effective ways to flush out gallstones out of the gallbladder, and also intrahepatic stones out of the liver in a very safe way? They don't want you to know that. So today I want you guys to really evaluate your life. And if you're watching all these manifestation videos and your life is not really going in the direction that you want, your life is just stagnating, listen. Come back to these basic lessons. Who do you listen to? You got to listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Next part. What is your teachability index? What is your willingness to learn? Are you really learning like your life depended on it? Because I knew my life depended on learning. But it wasn't enough just to learn. I had to apply. If you want to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, there are many things that you must do. I have not missed a week of detox since 2019. As I shared just earlier, I also just cleaned out my gallbladder. Okay, there are gallstones that could be stuck inside the gallbladder right now, and there are safe ways to actually flush them out. Of course, this is not professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I'm just sharing with y'all what I've done since 2023. I've done over 60 liver and gallbladder flushes. Congestion, they will get out of the gallbladder through the common bile duct. And from here, once they're in the duodenum, you must find a way to flush out all the gallstones. Another thing that people don't even know are the presence of internal parasites. You might find some videos online regarding internal parasites, and you just keep on swiping, not paying attention to them. Have you really looked into their life cycle, how they can get inside your body? And for those of y'all, you're on a lot of corticosteroids. Corticosteroids, those are immunosuppressants. They shut off the immune response. When your parasites are very, very small, your white blood cells, your killer T cells, they can go after these small little critters and get them out of your body. But many people, for whatever reason, there's a lot of disruption. Maybe they have skin problems, and now there are a whole bunch of corticosteroids. Well, your immune system is not going to work. That's what happens. You guys know to check out the Animal Planet. It did an amazing series with this on different parasites, episodes, different cases of parasites. And many people, they overlook this because they say, I live in the United States, I live in Canada, I live in Switzerland. Somehow you think you're untouchable. Wrong. If you own pets, and many of you do, and then you're on here, you let your pets just lick all over you. Pets, they have so many parasites, and now they're a vector. The pets from your parasites, they can transfer to you. Or you're eating a lot of sushi, sashimi. It wasn't that popular 25 years ago, but with tech, going into California, this is very popular, especially in Northern California. And it's gotten only increasingly more popular over the years with the Food Network showing them, you're watching different food networks. Now, a lot of y'all, you're going down to the Amazons, you want to do ayahuasca. You don't even know how to treat the local water. You don't know how to purify the local water. You're drinking contaminated water full of parasites, you come back, and now you're in a much worse situation than before. And this stuff is off the radar screen of many, many people, because they don't even have this information on the radar screen, or they just dismiss it. They're not teachable. They don't have that willingness to learn. They don't look into things. Of course, nothing I say you should be taking at face value. You need to go do the research yourself, crack open that book on human physiology. Maybe you go to the Library of Congress, you go to archive.org. There are a lot of free books online. You go to your local library. You can go to your local college where you can just do a research on the local universities around your area. Maybe you schedule some time with a parasitologist at the local university. There are people, they do this as a living, for a living. Even the United States, they have a United States Department of Parasitology or something up there. It is very, very well established. And last I checked, they got over 100,000 specimens cataloged of parasites. Over 100,000 specimens of parasites cataloged. And that number continues to increase. They always keep on finding new species. We think that we know everything about they keep on finding new species of animals, plants. They find new species of parasites. Now, not all of those parasites are going to be attacking you, but I'm just saying at least 1,000 of those will, okay? From full-blown organisms and also single-cell protozoans, okay? All I can say, you don't want to wait until parasites are just stacked up in you. They're multiplying on top of you. And now you just have to go to get surgery done, and you got the doctors. This is not spaghetti from the Olive Garden. These are roundworms. So if you're experiencing constant stomach cramps and pain, nausea, unexplained weight gain and weight loss, swollen lymph nodes. See, I was overeating. I had this insatiable need to eat all the time because I also had parasites. I had parasites. When you have parasites sitting inside of your body, your decisions are not your own. And different species of parasites, they have different craving patterns. Now, a lot of you, when you're watching this video, you just don't believe me. Well, you have to really learn what is the anatomy of a tapeworm. The anatomy of a tapeworm, they have a rostellum that hooks on to your digestive tract. They're communicating with you. at all times, okay? And they are reproducing very rapidly inside of you at all times. And you're experiencing this chronic problem, that inflammation there. Learn the anatomy. Don't take my word, okay? And of course, there are different herbal products and also OTC medications, not professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You got to seek out your doctor, naturopathic doctor, holistic doctor to find the right combination for you. But this is not the path I send people down, because you need to first clean out your small and large intestines. Most people don't even know how to do that. You watch the video, it's like, oh, I want to get rid of my internal parasites. Listen, if you're still dealing with chronic constipation on top, you're taking these herbal products, what's going to happen is you're going to have a whole bunch of dead parasites sitting inside of you, and you don't know how to flush them out of your body. Why don't you learn how to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right before you do any other that complicated stuff? And also study a lot of liabilities, concerns in advance. If you don't fix chronic constipation, you're going to end up with a toxic megacolon. This colon is just going to get bigger and bigger and extend as the year progresses. And for some of you out there, this colon may even burst. If it bursts, that means the waste material inside the colon, now they're flooding your cavity. You may go into something called sepsis shock. Now, if you don't know what that is, you can go look it up online. Or you may be dealing with different hemicolectomies. The doctor said that certain parts of your colon complete dead, we have to remove it. We're going to plug it back in. They think that your body parts is like plug and play. Or you have to be installed with a colostomy bag. Or you may have to be doing something called an ileoanal anastomosis. Ileoanal anastomosis. What is this procedure right here on the right? What this is that the doctor, they remove the colon completely, like over here. So how do you poop going forward? Well, the way you do it is that they're going to use the remaining portion of your small intestine and reattach it to your anus so you can still eliminate your feces through your anus. I'm just getting warmed up, okay? The amount of problems that can occur to you if you don't fix chronic constipation, it is unimaginable. So go down on this path and really learn for yourself and really ask yourself, who am I listening to right now? Who's in my ear? Who am I subscribed to on YouTube? Can they really take me to the promised land? Now, if you just use YouTube for entertainment purposes, yeah, you can do that. I'm just saying, don't be upset if your life is not going the direction that you want. If you just want entertainment for the rest of your life and you don't really look into these liabilities, concerns for your own personal health. And if you are concerned about your health, are you listening to the right people? Looking at your family doctor. If your family doctor's got a body mass index over 30, when you have a body mass index over 30, I think that is obese. What does that mean? Body mass index over 30, that's obese. And if you are over 35, that's extremely obese. Do you really want to work with a doctor that is like overweight and obese? No, find yourself a better doctor. Right? I just don't understand. But we've been trained, it's like, hey, these are doctors, you have to listen to them. They always know what's right. And how do you calculate this number? It's very easy. So you want to take your weight in kilograms, so you can just convert it back into kilograms, and your height in meters squared, right? So that's how you can calculate the BMI, the body mass index. And there are free online calculators online. Let me tell you, this plastic surgery, you'll get some temporary results, but is it going to last? Not necessarily. And we'll talk about that. But thank you for being on this call. I want to just jump on here and let me know if you have any questions. What's going on? What's on your mind? Any questions for me? I just want to jump on here. I actually do. This is not a pre-recorded call. The benefit of you being on this call is that you can match somebody to bounce some ideas off of. So we went over a lot of information. First, we went over who do you listen to? Okay, listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Me, I've been coaching people. I listen to a lot of people, and I've been compiling programs together for myself, my family members. I've taught this program to hundreds and hundreds of people all around the world. Okay, the Mega Food Transformation Challenge. I want people to clear out their digestive tract. Of course, this program is not right for everybody. You have to read through this and decide for yourself along with your doctor to see if it's right for you. Because obviously, not everything is the right thing. What I do, I teach people how to clean out the small and large intestines and how they can get rid of internal parasites out of their body. I've taught this program in English. I've taught this program in Chinese, taught this people in Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore. I've translated this program in Arabic. Okay. So I'm very well versed in how this program works. But I didn't just stop there, because I continue to learn. I continue to increase my ability to learn and increase my ability to accept change. And when you do that, new information is going to come online. As I explained a little bit earlier, I continue to learn about my digestive health. I start eliminating internal parasites. I did not stop there. Once I started doing that for a couple of years, new information came on my radar. I learned how I can flush out gallstones out of the gallbladder, also intrahepatic stones out of the liver. Now, for a lot of you out there, you have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's perfectly fine. But you can't just stay there. Learn, okay? Stick around, learn. Now, I'm not just stopping there, because I want to go through all my organs and see how I can improve my organs way before they have any problems. So we talked about the digestive system, which consists, well, digestion really begins in the mouth. So you want to be chewing your food properly, so your body knows what type of food they're dealing with, so they can secrete the right type of digestive fluids inside the stomach. And over time, you're going to be learning about these different organs, such as your liver, gallbladder, spleen. Okay, you have the pancreas, and you have kidneys at the back. Like, I've been doing this herbal tea for a couple of months now, and that thing has been very, very helpful in cleaning out the congestion inside my kidneys. As men, if you are having problems peeing, you know that some prostate situation that needs to be resolved. But instead of fixing the prostate, I want you guys to look further problems upstream, okay? So let's study that real quick. So kidney anatomy, right? So here we go. Let's look at this. This is a kidney anatomy of a dude. So over here, zoom in a little bit more. Now, if you're having prostate problems, don't try to just fix your prostate. Fix your kidneys. There is a lot of congestion that could take place inside the kidneys. Now, I don't know how you're going to get your kidneys cleaned out. There's a detox tea also outlined by Andreas Moritz, liver and gallbladder flush, in his book. I think it's chapter 5. You guys can look that up. I've been doing that detox tea for a couple of months now. It's been helping me out tremendously. When people are having kidney problems, they usually end up with bladder problems, and they usually end up with prostate problems, okay? If you have congestions inside the kidneys, they're going to show up downstream. Just like a lot of people, they don't really understand why are they dealing with colorectal problems. Colorectal problems such as rectal prolapse. Colorectal problems such as anal fissures or hemorrhoids, right? You go to your general doctor, what do? Send you down to the proctologist. Sending you down to the proctologist, what do? We can patch you up. Don't worry. We can patch you up. But listen, if you're still chronically constipated on top, they're tinkering down here. Don't you think you're just going to go back to the proctologist? And that's what they want. The whole system is set up for maximizing lifetime customer value. If you're taking notes on this call, believe me, that's what they'd be doing. It's about maximizing lifetime customer value. They don't want you to have any solutions inside this matrix. It's just more problems on top of problems. They make money from your suffering. That's what they do. So once again, how do you get this program completely for free? You can go to any one of my videos, and from here, you just want to tap on this very first link. When you tap on that link, it's going to take you to a sales page, and you want to just tap buy now on the sales page, and you want to scroll down just a little bit and type in YWIYC and hit apply. Once your coupon code has been applied, you want to come back on top, fill out your contact, billing, and payment information. It's not going to charge you anything. They just want to find people who are actually serious about this program. Then you're going to tap complete my order. Check your email. If it's not in your inbox, go to your spam folder. If it's in your spam folder, retract that email back into your inbox and tap on that email. Tap on that email and the link in the email, which will take you to the 14 audio series, Your Wish is Your Command, How to Manifest Your Desires. Okay. Training balance skills next. Just give me a little bit of a break before I talk about this next lesson. It's going to be intense. So how's everyone doing today? Yo, you guys give me 1 sec. I gotta use the bathroom. All right. All right, y'all. I take a little bit of a break. Okay, so I am back. Training balance scale. What is this all about? Training balance scale. Think of a scale that goes back and forth. Okay, on one side of the scale, it's about how you think and how you feel. What is your why at a very, very core level? Not just superficial thinking, but it's at a very core part of you. It's about your dreams and goals, attitudes, your mental processes, vibration, internal motivation. On the other side of the scale are the how actions, your specific techniques, strategies, action steps, plans, activities, physical action. Now, in the world of personal development, they always stress that the reason why you're not achieving your goal is because you don't know the specific techniques, you don't know the strategies, you don't know the action steps, you don't know your plans, you don't know your activities and physical actions. Now, according to Kevin, he places a lot more emphasis on this side of the training balance scale, which is how you think and how you feel. Napoleon Hill, he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. He didn't write the book. You need to know all the action steps, then you can grow rich. How you think and how you feel at a very, very core level has to do with your unconscious thinking or your subconscious mind. Now, the unconscious thinking, this is the part most people don't know a lot about. But if you're in personal development, you know about this, but you don't know how to actually reformat it and reinstall it with habits and beliefs that you want. The unconscious thinking, first it controls your automatic bodily functions, your heart rate, respiratory rate, your blood sugar. Let's call it homeostasis. Automatic body functions are being controlled by the subconscious mind. This is where your habits and beliefs, your values, identity, your imagination, self-confidence, your self-worth is all down here. Most people are focused over here, the conscious thinking, your short-term memory, logical thinking, willpower, decisions, and analysis. This controls a very, very small portion of your mental capacity. But that's where most people want you to focus on. They don't really want you to understand what is really installed underneath below the surface. I'm going to discuss a lot about that today. So over here, you may be wondering why so many Americans, they have a dad bod, okay? And it's relentless. They may get some small results in the short term, but why do people have a dad bod? People have a dad bod because TV programming, they've installed that dad bod inside the unconscious thinking. They've installed that character inside of them. Let me explain. Have you seen any of these TV shows? King of the Hill, okay? Many people, millions of Americans that watch these TV shows. They just watch these TV shows, there's nothing else to do, and they're unconscious about it. They come back home, and the favorite thing that they do, turn on TV, watch these TV shows. But they don't know every single year they're watching these TV shows, they're being installed with certain habits, behaviors, a thought process. Takes Hank Hill. Hank Hill, he lives a very average life, goes to an average job, comes back to an average home, got a very nagging wife, kids that don't really respect him, and he hangs out with his people in his neighborhood. None of them are high performers. None of them are high performers. What else do you have? Homer Simpson. I used to watch this TV show when I was growing up. Once again, Homer Simpson goes to a job he doesn't like going to. He comes back home. The only thing he looks forward to is what? Drinking beer. Turns on television. Even the beginning of the show, when they have, they always go back on that couch, right? All the family members surround that TV. And you don't think they're programming you to do the same thing? Yes, come back home and watch Homer Simpson. So he always develops a dad bod. He's always drinking beer. Who else do we have? This guy is Norm on Cheers. I just learned his name. I totally forgot his, because when I was growing up, they had a lot of Cheers reruns when I was growing up. So I didn't really watch his show I knew it was a popular show. I think back in the 70s or 80s, people used to watch the show. Yeah, rest in peace. This guy, he just recently passed away. Okay. And you can go look him up online and you can see that as he got older and older, his health is deteriorated. Who else do we have? Al Bundy, Married with Children. People love watching Al Bundy because they could relate with Al Bundy. Once again, goes to a very average job, comes back to an average home. He has a nagging wife. Kids don't really respect him. So when people watch his TV shows, they're like, oh, I automatically relate with Al. It's funny because a lot of people that go to work and they talk about the episode that they just watched the night before. People do this all the time. And here's Peter with Family Guy. And we also have Cartman. Cartman, very funny South Park TV show. But even Cartman as a cartoon character, Cartman is overweight. And as you're watching these TV shows day after day, they're installing this character inside of you. And you wonder why they're so confident you're going to be getting a dad bod. There are these dad bod mannequins out there. This is completely real. These are dad bod mannequins. Because they know they've installed that thing in you. Of course, you're going to come out a complete loser on the other side. Even before you start drinking beer, you're watching Homer Simpson. You're watching King of the Hill. Okay, you might be watching some Cheers reruns. Al Bundy, Married with Children, Peter on Family Guy. And that's how they can install that character or those behaviors inside of you. Who are you at the very core? You think you want six-pack abs, right? That's only your short-term memory. Your logical thinking says, I want six-pack abs. But your unconscious thinking, where your beliefs and habits are, your true values, your identity, your self-worth, your imagination, your self-confidence. Your imagination at the very core is somebody with a dad bod. I know it sounds horrible, but that's the truth. That's the absolute truth. Otherwise, you will have a dad bod. You will have six-pack abs. Okay? Otherwise, you would have six-pack abs already, and you won't be watching this. You won't be watching this live call at all. So what's it going to be? We're coming back to the training balance scale. How you think and how you feel at a very, very core level. That is the self-image level. Your real dreams, your real goals, your real attitude, your real mental processes, your real internal motivation. That's where you need to focus on. Not just thinking in your conscious mind, it's like, oh, I want a six-pack abs. That's not down there. As I explained before, people live in installing these characters inside your subconscious mind. Hank Hill, Homer Simpson, Norm on Cheers, Al Bundy, Married with Children, Peter with Family Guy, even South Park. The funniest character on South Park is fat. What's down there inside your subconscious mind is a fat person. You need to really think about what you need to do to clean out the subconscious mind, to really reformat the content of your subconscious mind and reinstall it with somebody with a six-pack. And that's going to take work. That's going to take effort. Just like I needed to lose weight, right? To go from the picture on the left, I had a dad bod. I had a dad bod in my 30s, embarrassing. And the problem is, I was working hard at the gym. Just to show you, there's so much information beyond your scope of awareness. You think that to get six-pack abs, all you have to do is go to the gym. All you have to do is calorie count and eat right. I did all that, and I still had a dad bod. Just to show y'all, there's a lot of information you don't know about. And I'm just going to spin through some of these slides. Maybe I'll go through them in more detail going forward. But I'm just saying that a lot of you better be picking out some books in human physiology. A lot of you should be picking out some medical texts, okay? A lot of you should study many different naturopathic doctors, holistic health. A lot of you should pick up some books on parasitology, not just human parasites, but also veterinary parasitology. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to share 4 steps to learning. I'm not even going to discuss all of it. You guys can watch another video. I explain this in great detail. Your 4 steps to learning. You always go from a place of unconscious incompetence to a place of unconscious competence. Once again, it takes about 5 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. You got to be perfectly okay. You think that you know about something. You don't know it. You don't know it. You don't know it. There's always another level to learning. Even tying your shoes. There's another level how you can tie your shoes better. If you know how to run, there's always another level how you can run better. Are you running long distance? Are you running short distance? There's definitely a big gap between you and an Olympic runner right now. What do they know that you don't? What do they know? Are they bigger and better than you? Are they just simply stronger than you? Is that all there is? Are there even more techniques to running that you don't know about right now? Maybe you know how to drive a car, but you're definitely not a Formula One. You're not NASCAR. You're not driving at that caliber. There's nothing more that you can learn about driving a car. And that's where most people stop, right? They don't have that learn. They don't want to learn. But don't be upset if your life is not moving in the direction that you want, because you're not willing to go back to the place of a beginner. You're not willing to say, hey, what I've learned up to so far right now, there's always another level. Or something that's going to come from left field that's going to disrupt my current paradigm of doing things. That's going to destroy my little sandcastle, but I got to embrace it if I want to go to the next level. And that's part of going from a place of unconscious incompetence, and then you have to remove your way back up to conscious incompetence, move your way up to conscious competence, move your way up to unconscious competence. And know that these cycles, they're going to come back. And I know as I go on this progress through my health journey, there's going to be new things on the radar screen, and I need to embrace. Right? For a long time, I just embraced supplementation. Supplementation, which is such an easy sell for most people because they latch on to this programming inside your subconscious mind. You're not enough. You're not enough. You're deficient. You don't have the right vitamins. You don't have the right minerals. That's why you take these supplements. Listen, you can take all the supplements you want, but if you're still chronically constipated, if you're still full of parasites, those supplements are not going to do anything to help you. In fact, you're taking all these expensive supplements and you're feeding it right to your parasites. Of course, a lot of people, they don't want to discuss that. So I left a lot of information for you guys to think about. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are, I know I share a lot of uncomfortable topics, and I also rewatch these videos. I know there are areas I didn't explain myself very well, and I'll come back and explain it the next time I come on these calls, hang out with you guys. I can explain it better.